Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grade Up. Welcome to this session, this amazing session on the occasion of Women's Day. As you all know, today is 8 March, and we have with us three of our students who have proved that if they work hard, if they try to achieve something, it is doable. My name is Krishnendu, and I welcome you all to this session. So I have with me Pooja, Simran, and Anvita, who have prepared and they have appeared for the toughest exams that management entrance exams can be. And they have, of course, performed very clearly. They have things to share with you, they would like to share with you, and probably we all can learn from what they have achieved. All right. So, very clearly, we're going to make this session very interesting and very, very full of learning, right? Now, we would go one by one. We would want to know more about these three women of metal, and we would start with Simran. And let me quickly tell you what the question is about, Simran. We would just want to know, we would love to know a brief intro about yourself because we practically know nothing about you right now, or at least the listeners, the viewers do not know. So, Pooja, Simran, can you please start with a small intro?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for inviting me here, and I would like to wish all the viewers a very happy International Women's Day. So, I'm Simran and I'm from New Delhi. I'm currently working as management trainee in Punjab National Bank, and I have done my BTech in computer engineering from YMCA University of Science and Technology. And I was a student. I was actually a student here as grade up. I was a student here at grade up, and I enrolled for CAT 2020 mock test series here.
Okay. So, before I move on, let me quickly ask Pooja. Pooja, would you like to just quickly tell us about yourself?
My name is Pooja. I'm from Kerala. So I'm an electrical engineer. So I'm currently working at Tata Elxsi as a validation engineer. So I started preparing for the MBA entrance examination while we were having this lockdown situation. I thought maybe I was actually planning to have get 2 years experience before joining for an MBA exam. But then because of the lockdown situation, I had the time, and so I decided to prepare, and that's how I'm here right now.
Okay. Pooja, I think you'll have to keep the hands-free microphone near your face because there's a lot of disturbance. But
Yes.
now it was okay. All right. So, Anvita, of course, this is your turn now, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anvita, and I wish all the viewers a happy Women's Day. And my name is Anvita, and I'm from Hyderabad. I'm a freshie. I completed my graduation from Usmania University in Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2019. And
Okay.
after that, I was placed in Deloitte, but I decided to prepare for CAT. And after, with the help of grade up, I could achieve good marks. And here is the end. Thank you.
That's very sweet of you to say that. But I am throwing this question to all of you together, okay? But obviously, we would go one by one, Simran, then Pooja, then Anvita. That people have this notion in their head, especially people from smaller towns, that CAT and MAT, etc., MBA, etc., is a career option for, especially for girls who come from privileged background, who come from background of entitlement, right? And they don't have struggles in life. मतलब उनके लिए आसान है, come on, they just ace it like that. They do engineering and then CAT is all for them. Is that true? Did you face any problems? Did you have any struggles, Simran?
Yeah, so whatever you just said, I can obviously relate to it because there is always a certain mindset in our country which is associated with each and every exam. So, if I talk about myself, I come from a very humble background, very humble education in school as well as college, and obviously, I didn't have the luxury to actually drop a year or two and prepare for CAT. I knew I don't have an option but to work and simultaneously prepare for my career. So obviously there are certain stereotypes associated. Plus, being a woman when you are in a job, especially if it's in the government sector, just as the case was with me. So people are like, oh, obviously you should now plan to settle. If you go for education, or you are maybe 23, 24 right now, by the time you do your MBA, you'd be 26, and then you'll be again settling into a job. So when will you plan your further life, the further family life and all? So these kind of things, obviously, you have to face coming from a very humble background. The society especially puts in so much pressure. But in my case, I would say my parents and my brothers, especially, who is also pursuing an MBA, was very supportive, because they now know how important it is, and how these gender stereotypes are actually do not help in any way. They just push you back. So they were quite supportive. So since I had their support, I actually didn't have to worry at all about what others, the outsiders especially, are
That's
saying
great.
or posting. Yes.
Having family support is extremely important, but even if you do not have it, it can be done. That's what is extremely important to understand, right? How about you, Pooja? Did you face any problems, or it was a cakewalk for you? Because Pooja, I can see you have scored 253 in Narsimonje entrance, right? So is that correct? So was it a
Yes,
cakewalk?
no, to be honest, no, because till my engineering graduation, I did not leave the city. I'm born in Trivandrum and I'm still at Trivandrum.
Okay.
So there's this, like, it's very difficult to know about a lot of universities, because you have a lot of good universities outside. But then when you're really interested in something, like, I believe everybody has equal opportunity. To be honest, if you really want something and you have the sources, you can Google, you can find information, and then if you really want to pursue something, whatever may be your background, you can always strive for it. And even after the lockdown, we have a lot of online platforms to, like, you don't even have to go to a class if you're working. And then that's another problem I had to face, because I already have a job, so, and it's a very steady income. So people don't usually promote resigning and then preparing for something. So you'll be working. That's another problem you'll be facing. And then there's this pressure of marriage, because once you have a job, your parents will probably ask you to get married and then take care of the family. So you'll have to stand up for yourself, because if you really want to be something, I think only you can do it. So you should speak for yourself, and you should show them that you'll be able to do it. If you're working, you'll have to work. So after that, you'll have to find time for this. Even if you're married, if you really want to do an MBA, I think if you really have the mind for it, you can do it. So I was working, and then after the lockdown, you do not have the 24 and like, you will have to work 24/7 sometimes. So you'll have to find time in between. And if you really want to do it, I believe you can do it. Anybody can do it. We all have equal opportunities.
True. Anvita, same question, but small twist. Anvita, was it your first attempt in CAT, or was it? Did you try it earlier also? I did not ask that question earlier.
Yes, actually, it was my first attempt in CAT.
Okay. Okay.
In 2019, I prepared for GATE, but
Okay.
again, I've changed my stream and I prepared for GATE.
Fair enough. So, did you face any particular kind of? See, why I'm asking this question is because this question is more pertinent to girls in a country like India, where, remember, we all have this weird notion that being normal is important. Normal girls are the ones who complete their education, then probably they work in safe careers, like they become teachers or something like that, and then they get married and then they raise their family, and that's what any woman is supposed to do. And today is International Women's Day, and that is why we are talking about it. That did you face any of these stereotypes? Because Simran and Pooja very clearly had different kind of expectations. I mean, they faced different kind of expectations from family and friends. So how about you, Anvita? Did you face anything different?
Sir, compared to both of these people, I have a different experience, because
Okay.
it was a challenging decision for me to quit a job and prepare for GATE, because
Wow.
it was a life-changing decision for me. Because everyone usually follow the same route. After graduation, go for a job. After that, go for your final education or get married. So it was quite a challenging decision for me, and I have to keep motivated myself. And there was so much of peer pressure, and everyone used to give me suggestion. Why not a job? Why are you taking this risk? But I always wanted to go for higher education and was keen about it. So with the help of my family support, they were like, okay, it's fine if you take a break, we can afford it. And that's what that it helped me. And
Yes, 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 definitely. To that extent, you guys were lucky for sure that your family stood by you, rock solid, right? And that is what my next question is. In fact, that if I look at your challenges, because you're working, you had to take a break, and obviously family expectations. So I'm pretty sure you guys wrote mocks also, right? Mocks, you must have taken mocks, and mocks can be sometimes heartbreaking because we are in this field. We know mocks can sometimes be very very shattering to your morale, or sometimes the work pressure, you have day back to back commitments, projects going on, or you have taken a break, you're not working, so a lot of pressure, or maybe constraint of time. How did you focus on your exam? How did you maintain that balance? Because we get a lot of queries from students, we can't manage time. So what is your take? Did you have any kind of study schedule, or did you have a mantra kuch, anything of that sort which you would share with us, starting with Simran?
Yes, so since I told you I'm presently working, and so obviously time was always a big issue. And I also used to feel until the time I had not started the preparation, this was the thing which actually demotivated me, because I used to feel like I cannot do it because I
Okay.
don't have the time, because I am in a job where the schedule is so, like, it's not at all a strict 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 job. Sometimes I'm returning back home at 10 or 11 in the night, so it's obviously very hectic. But the thing which it was just that now, after being in this field for 2 years, I had this thought, like, if I won't do it now, I'll never be able to do it. So that thought, when it pinched me, it motivated me to take out time anyhow, especially on the weekends, especially the travel time I used to utilize. So that is how you need to make time for yourself, for your dream.
That's a very
Other
important word, make time. Yes.
Yes, exactly. You need to make time, because that is what I learned. Uh, right. For example, today also, this cat preparation journey actually made me realize, if it's important for you, you will take out time for it. For example, today also, I'm coming back obviously from my office, and I was quite unsure if I'll be able to make it to the session or not, because of the working hours not being
True.
fixed.
True.
But still, if since I had a commitment, I had this in my mind since morning, that I have to finish my work and I have to leave on time so that I'm able to
We appreciate
join.
that definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is what I was my biggest learning from CAT preparation, I should
I'm
say.
sure. I'm sure.
Yes.
How about Pooja? How did you maintain focus? Because this exam is heartbreaking. Sometimes you do lose motivation, right?
Yes, that's very true. Actually, in fact, sometimes when I write the marks are, sometimes it turns out like it depends on your mood a lot, because I'll be working till maybe 6 or 7, and then I usually take mocks after 7 or 8, and I'll be very tired. So I'll not even be able to think properly sometimes. But then that can be really demotivating. And then when I go through the answers, I make very silly mistakes. But then you cannot afford to make silly mistakes in a very competitive examination.
Absolutely.
So and then yes, and then even if I want to prepare, most of the time, sometimes you cannot always schedule your work and studying, because sometimes you need to give more concentration to your work, maybe something urgent comes up. So I actually burnt a lot of midnight oil, to be honest. Most of the days I used to sleep by 3:30 and all, because I knew I'll have to invest time after work, only then I'll be able to crack it. And then even in my job, to be honest, I really wanted to pursue MBA, so I wasn't really happy with what I was doing. So each time I used to do the office work, I'll be thinking, okay, I need to study today, I need to get into a good college. So that thought kept me motivated. And then I had this whiteboard in my room, so I used to write down motivational quotes and all that, just to keep me motivated. I used to do stuff like that. When I look at that itself, I'll be like, okay, I need to do this, I'll have to finish the work, I'll have to keep time and all that. And I think there's one thing that's very important. You should take mock test the same time you'll be taking the actual examination.
Yes.
That is one thing I've heard a lot of faculty members insisting. But then I really never get to do that because I'll be working at that time. So I had to do a lot of adjustments and all that. It was hard work, but then it was worth it because this is what I really want to do. So if you really want to achieve something, you can find a way. Anybody can find
It's
a way.
like the cliched saying that if you have the will, you would find a way. The rest is all excuse, basically. Correct?
Yes, exactly.
So, Anvita,
Yes.
how did you remain motivated?
So during the lockdown, I think it's difficult for everyone to keep the same pace, right?
Yes.
And since we are all staying at home, so it's a bit distracting for us. So I made a plan for me. So I used to have time was a big factor for me. I had time, so I made a study plan on a weekly basis, and I used to keep time for sport. Studying 24/7 is not my cup of tea. So I always have time for sport and some of the time for my interest. And I
Okay.
was keen. I made sure that I completed my work on time. I think discipline and practice will definitely make you reach the goals.
Right. So I think what you three are basically saying is that commitment is important, discipline is important, and making time is important. That's what Simran and Pooja both did, and discipline is what Anvita is talking about. And that's what I think is the message to everybody who is going to watch this video, that it may sound very easy that somebody has got 98.7 or somebody has got 99 or somebody has got 97 percentile or 250, 255 or 53 in math. It may sound that, oh, it is doable, लोगों को आ जाता है. It's always, remember, it may not be a big deal for X or Y, but it's a big deal for the person who's doing it. It's their big deal. And see what they have done to achieve that, right? Burning midnight oil and whatnot. Like Pooja has been like 3 o'clock, sleeping at 3 o'clock. Most of us also sleep at 3 o'clock, but mostly we are watching Netflix. And then we expect result. Correct. Anvita just said that during the lockdown period, there used to be a lot of distraction at home, which basically means that probably what the family members were doing was distracting to her. She could have simply enjoyed that, but she chose not to do that because the goals were different. Correct. Who does not want to really spend time with family members? But we have to make choices. That's what. So I'll not take a lot of time. Because I think Simran, as it is tired after a long day at office, and probably Pooja and Anvita also are. It's already 9 o'clock. I think you time to catch up others for dinner. So two more questions actually very quickly. First is that I have written it down actually, that uh, did you make schedules? Like students ask me a lot, study schedule bana sakte hain, timetable, should we have a timetable? Did you make timetable? Like 7 o'clock I would have my lunch, breakfast, and 1 o'clock lunch. I'll study for 3 hours in the evening, 3 hours at night. Did you do that, or how did you manage it? Planning part, strategy part. Simran?
Yeah. So in my case, making such a particular timetable, like doing this at 7, doing this at 3, was obviously not possible. But
Okay.
I used to plan things in a way like, okay, today I'll be in metro and I'll be revising this test.
Okay.
Today during lunchtime, if I'm free, then I'll be reading this article or this part of the book. So this is how I used to plan, and
Future planning
especially,
basically.
yeah, the
Anticipating what is going
weekends.
to come. Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And the weekends obviously were for mock tests and analyzing strictly. So whatever other plans would pop in, I would cancel them and only dedicate to what I had, like for my preparation, what I had planned.
Right. And how about you, Pooja?
Yeah, my story is almost similar to Simran's because it's not possible to actually have a proper timetable. But then I'll probably have a rough idea of what I'll be doing the next day, and then according to how I'll be able to allocate my time, I'll try to cover the portion I have in mind. That's how I usually used to dedicate my time.
I'm sure. Anvita, you have something to add here? Like, did you do that? The planning thing? Because you are
Yes.
disciplined for sure. Yeah.
So I used to make a weekly plans. Like these are my
Okay.
topics to cover. Like these many mock
Okay.
tests I have to give. So what is the time schedule I have to follow? I just used to have an outlook, and I just used to do it and made sure I completed my work by the weekend.
So very clearly weekly plan, because probably you could do that, and you guys basically planned the day ahead. right? That's what the idea is. But very clearly, we are saying that without plan, we are going nowhere. If you are a student who is preparing for CAT 21 and your day starts by saying, okay, good morning, let me think what I will do, and then at night you watch Netflix and you go to bed, then probably you're not going anywhere. That's the actual idea. So two questions. I said I actually lied. I have actually two more questions. So one is that did you guys really have fun also? Did you have any hobby? Did you like carry out something on a daily basis to relax? Did you cultivate any hobby, Simran?
Okay, so something which I do daily, obviously it's not a hobby, it's a habit of newspaper
Okay,
reading.
okay,
So
that's fine.
yes. So I read it daily. Like before,
Okay.
it's been 3 to 4 years now since I've been reading newspapers. So that thing I have never skipped. Especially even if it's exam time, even if it's a day before exam and I'm like not prepared at all, I will obviously do that because it acts as a refresher for me,
Okay.
and I feel
It's a
good
very
after.
constructive habit for sure. For
Yes,
sure. Yes.
yes. It helps you in many ways. It helps you in your
Definitely.
exam as well, cat exam
Yes.
for example. Yes.
Second stage is all about GK, definitely. So
Yeah.
that's
Plus,
that's a
plus,
great insight actually. Yeah.
yeah, plus with the passages also, because you are
Yeah.
actually used to reading certain very different topics, no? So you
Sure.
don't feel, oh, from where has this topic cropped in, or I am unable to understand. So that helps.
That's a beautiful point actually. How about you, Pooja? Any specific hobby you have or you did something regularly?
Actually, I used to paint like when I'm really stressed because I'll be working and then I'll be studying. So
Uh-huh.
sometimes I get really stressed, and then sometimes if my quant marks go down because I'll not be able to focus, then I'll
Okay.
paint something, and then it helps me relieve my stress. But then, to be honest, in the beginning it will be difficult to do like concentrate on your work and on your studies. But then it becomes a routine, and then if you're not able to study one day, then you'll start feeling weird and you'll be like sad,
True.
okay, I lost so much time. So once it becomes a routine, then I think you'll start enjoying, like even when you're solving problems, it will become fun rather than work. So
True.
basically I didn't face that much of a difficulty in studying, but when I'm really stressed, I try to paint or listen to music or something like that.
But balancing a life is also important. That's what the point.
Yes,
Amrita,
yes,
you
yes, yes,
do
yes,
something
yes.
regularly, Amrita?
Uh, yes, sir. Like daily, I used to play badminton for at least 1 hour to 1.5 hours. So that
Okay,
keeps my day like fully active. Like I feel like active while studying. So
that's
lot,
nice.
and I also used to read novels, and I used to play some quant puzzles, so that it always keeps me active rather than going for long hours of study.
You are this very quintessential perfect girl kind of a candidate, right? You play, you solve puzzles, you read. I think you do everything that is required, Hannah. I think that's very inspiring actually. Okay, so last question. You guys joined Grade Up at for different purposes, right? So not as a generic question, but specific question. How do you think we helped you, right? I mean, we of course expect that we helped you. So did we help you? And if yes, then how? Very quickly, not in an elaborate manner, just quick answer. How did we help you? And if possible, what else we can do for you, people like you or candidates who are listening to us and would like to write CAT again in 2021, they would like to write CAT. Simran.
Yeah, so obviously I would like to credit and thank GradeUp because not boasting because I'm here. I feel grateful, and that is why I'm here, I would say,
Okay.
because GradeUp mock tests is what I followed. I didn't
Okay.
take any coaching or from any other platform. I didn't follow any other mock tests as well because GradeUp I chose to be very frank. In the first place, my first concern was to be able to give tests on mobile phones, and I was not
Okay.
able to find that feature on other trustworthy sources. So
That's nice.
that's why I chose GradeUp, because literally this is the first time no you provided this mock test series. So I didn't have any guidance on it. So it was like I felt like, am I taking a risk? But since I had actually used GradeUp for my banking preparation as well. I'm into bank only.
Right.
Uh, uh, So in a public sector bank. So I knew that the content is, I don't really need to worry about the content. So you guys actually helped me because the new pattern mock tests were available on your app from day one. So I didn't have to worry about that. Any doubt I had, you had your proper analysis sheet of the tests, which were quite comprehensible. So that way I didn't have to worry about what other sources should I follow, what other test series should I follow. And this was a package in itself, a complete package. So thank you for that.
You're really welcome. I mean, it feels great to hear appreciative words coming from students, especially because we work really hard for this. Our content team works very hard, and it's great when you guys go out and achieve something, because that is a reflection of what we do, right? Pooja, did we anyway help you, and what did we do for you, and what else should we do?
To be very honest, GradeUp is the reason I'll be joining in MIMS this year, to be honest, because I wasn't planning to write my CAT exam this year. I was planning to write it next year. So I actually had this app on my phone like from I think from 2018, because a lot of my friends were preparing for GATE while I was doing my 4th year in engineering.
Okay.
And they had this app, and there was these questions available, and while they were at the class, whenever we had a free period, they used to go through the questions. So it was a very handy app, and then I was really impressed because I haven't, it was the first time I was seeing that kind of app, and I knew I'll be preparing for CAT soon, so I thought I'll just download the app, but then I did not use it until recently. So after the lockdown started, I decided, okay, I'll give it a try this year. And that's when I knew I had this app on my phone. And then I started going through the videos, and then, you have those daily quizzes and all that. And at that time, there was a scholarship examination for GradeUp where they were giving, scholarships to students. So I was among the top 15 or something, and I had got the mock tests for free, to be honest. So after that scholarship, I was actually really motivated because I was like, okay, so I'm not that bad. So if I try this year, I might be able to crack it this year itself. Then why waste one more year? That's when I actually started preparing seriously. So GradeUp is the reason I'll be joining for MBA this year. It was a lot of motivation. And then, yes, even the mock tests were, you can see which areas you are poor at, and then you will have, questions from that area for practice. So, and then you have, I think whichever portion I wanted to learn, all those videos were available on the app. All those videos were available, and then I didn't have to go to any other sources for extra material. So, GradeUp is the reason I am here right now.
That's such a
thank you so much for that.
To hear that we could make a difference, right? That's very amazing to hear. Thank you so much. Anvita, how
Yes.
about you?
Yes,
And coming to my preparation, sir, my first introduction to GradeUp was for BARC preparation. So after going to the platform and I've seen that it was so nice, the interface was so user friendly. They have daily classes, daily quizzes, and all. I thought this is the best platform for any exam. So why not for CAT? So then while preparing for CAT preparation, I've taken the CAT mock test and the course. So it has boosted my confidence actually. Actually, I was getting a bit depressed about my gate and all, but this greater preparation has really boosted my confidence after writing the mock test, after seeing my results and working upon my weakness. There was a gradual improvement in my performance, and I could see like, okay, this is going to be my thing, and that's what I am really thankful to Grader for providing this opportunity. Yes.
All right. So thank you, Anvita. See, I think I can summarize this by saying that what you found at GradeUp was that it could deliver value, the value that you were seeking, right? In terms of whether it's mock, whether it's the classes, whether it was doubt clearing or analysis of a performance, right? So we could do that. That very clearly makes us very happy. Let me be honest. Appreciation is always very good. बहुत अच्छा लगता है. But we are also open to, of course, constructive criticism, right? We also appreciate the feedback that we get because that makes us better. But I would not hold you back for long. Very clearly, I would congratulate you all once again for what you have done. Despite your own struggles, what you have achieved is not mean, correct? Very clearly, you have a long life ahead, and you would, of course, you're going to achieve bigger things in life. But what you have done so far as it is amazing, right? I would like to thank you all again on behalf of Grade Up for participating here with us on this day. So thank you so much. My wishes on International Women's Day. Once again, you guys have shown that today very clearly, if you have the will, you always find a way. I'm sure you would go miles and miles ahead in life. Thank you so much. And please keep working harder and make your names shine. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everybody.